Over the past few days, I visited some of the most inaccessible and remote parts of Kashmir, seeing firsthand some of the incredible work being done by Reed Foundation. I visited some brand new, purpose-built, state-of-the-art schools, and I've also seen some other schools that are in desperate need of being rebuilt. All those hundreds of schools, those tens of thousands of students and orphan children. It's all about transforming lives. It's all about taking a child and giving them the opportunity not just to break away from their own poverty, but to break the cycle of poverty for both them and their families. Today I'm here to meet someone for whom that dream became a reality, the dream of escaping from the cycle of poverty when he was sponsored by Reed Foundation. Dr. Shafiq, thank you very much for showing us around the hospital today. Very impressive indeed. I'd like to ask you a few questions if I may. Going back to those early days, when your father first passed away, what was that situation like for you, your brothers and sisters, and particularly for your mother?
It was a very difficult time for us and for our family, because my mother being a one person who was supporting us, and really if anyone who sponsored us at that time, that was a big help for us.
There were 6 of you with your brothers and sisters, and you were selected to go to a Reed Foundation school. Can I ask you, at that initial time, in those early days, how did that feel to you, knowing that you'd been chosen to be the one to go to this school?
I felt very happy because I was good at studies, and even though I was quite young, but still I can realize that definitely this is a good opportunity for me, and me and my family were very happy at that time.
You already mentioned how important it was, that initial sponsorship, particularly being the only one from your family to go to a Reed Foundation school. What I'd like to know is, did that have an impact on you right from the beginning? Did you know that it was important for you to study hard and for you to do well?
Even though I was young, but still I have a realization that I have to do something in my life for my family, for my mother. And being a single sibling for all of my siblings, I was selected in the Reed Foundation. There's a lot of pressure on me that I have to do something. So I determined, and with the support of my teachers, Alhamdulillah, I reached the medical school and I become a doctor now in front of you.
When you think back to those early days, the difficult situation that you, your mother and your family were in, could you ever have imagined that you'd have ended up being a doctor, a consultant at such a famous medical institution?
I was having a wish to become a doctor, but even at that time I could not imagine that I can do the best medical schools and can reach the position which I am now. So the wish was there, but it was seemed difficult for me that how can I reach, because it needs a lot of finances, it needs a lot of support. So when I was thinking about these things, sometimes I become hopeless, but Allah has helped me.
Alhamdulillah, you are now a doctor at the world famous Al Shifa hospital here in Pakistan, and we know that you're waiting for your final exam results to be a consultant, and we hope inshallah that goes well. When you look back, how important was that initial intervention, that Reed sponsorship that came to you? What difference did that make to your life and the life of your family?
In my life and the life of my family, that sponsorship was of a key role. You know, that sponsorship, I think, that broken that cycle of poverty which we had because of death of our father, and now I am able to not only support myself, my children, but my brother and sister if they need, and I can take care of my mother in a good way, as she's elderly, she has a lot of illnesses as well. So I think that sponsorship was the key, which made the difference. Now I have the ambition, or I have some plans that I want to set some medical setup in the charity hospital in my village when I got financing for that. This is my mission basically. So what I think that had I not been sponsored at that time, this would have been very difficult for me to complete all of these wishes and my plans.
Dr. Shafiq, finally, if I can ask you, to sponsor a child with Reed Foundation costs just £1 a day. Now that's the equivalent of a cup of tea, just 1 cup of tea a day. What would be your message to our viewers about how important these sponsorships are?
Well, I think you couldn't imagine the impact or the change what this your donation, which just as you said, the equivalent to a cup of tea, can make the difference with the student. I myself, which have gone through this system, and I can say in a better way that definitely the difference could have not been imagined by you. And if I would advise everyone, just if you can, just do it. And do it for the students who cannot afford to do it, for those who are orphans, and definitely this thing can change the life of those families. So I think donate generously in this purpose. I myself have, when I got any chance, I will sponsor any students in the Reed Foundation or any other organization. So I think this should be done.
Meeting Dr. Shafiq today, watching him at work, there's a couple of things that really stood out to me. The first thing was the amount of respect that he had, the amount of recognition, how many people wanted to stop and talk to him in that hospital, and to think that this was for an orphan child, somebody who was growing up in one of the most remote and rural areas of Kashmir, and he's now in an internationally famous hospital about to become a consultant. But to see him on that ward, to see him treating those patients, those chronically ill patients, and he treats 200 of these patients every single week. And what does it cost? Just £1, just £1 a day. That is Sadaqah Jariyah. He's changed his life, he's changed the life of his family, and every week he treats hundreds and hundreds of chronically ill people. You can do that, you can be the difference for just the price of a cup of tea. So please, pick up your phones and sponsor a Reed child today.
Sponsor an orphan for just £30 a month. Reed Foundation, beyond food and water.